Hey everyone, Scott Johnson here. We're going to be installing Microsoft Security Essentials as our antivirus, and I'm going to show you right here on the screen exactly how to do it. First thing you want to do is open up your web browser, either Firefox or Internet Explorer. I'm using Firefox, and go to Microsoft.com/security_essentials. There's no .com or anything, just security_essentials. That takes you to this screen where you see a big download now. Click on that. When you see this window that pops up, you need to determine what operating system you are using. If you're using Windows XP, click on this first one right here. If you're using Windows Vista or Windows 7, click on whether or not you have a 32-bit or 64-bit computer, or operating system rather. In my case, I have Windows Vista 64-bit, so I'm going to click on here. Firefox offers me the option of saving the file. If you're using Internet Explorer, it probably gives you the option of either saving or running it, and you could go ahead and run it if you want. I'm going to save, and I'll show you here in just a second when that download is done. It's about an 8 megabyte download, so on a high-speed connection it doesn't take very long. You can click to run it right here from the download window if you want. You probably get a little warning saying, do you really want to run this? But go ahead and run it. This is the first screen for Microsoft Security Essentials installation. Click Next. You have to click Accept to agree to their license terms. Now this tells you if you have other antivirus programs installed on your computer, they may conflict. Right now you do have another antivirus program installed, probably AVG. However, go ahead and install Microsoft Security Essentials anyway, because the last step in this whole process is to uninstall AVG. So go ahead and click Install. And normally it doesn't take too long. It's a fairly small download, which is one of the advantages of this program. The AVG 2011 is actually a download of over 100 megs, so that can take a little bit of time to do the installation. But this Microsoft program is not very big, so it doesn't usually take very long to install. This is the screen you'll see after the installation is done. You'll see there's an option to scan my computer for potential threats after getting the latest updates, and you can do that if you want. We'll just leave that checked. If you don't do it, the scan is going to be on a regular schedule anyway, so you don't need to do it right now. As soon as it gets back to the screen here, it's going to automatically update, assuming you're connected to the internet, which you probably are. This interface is really simple to use. You can see this is everything right here. You don't have a whole lot of settings to go for and change and adjust and tweak and everything. It's really pretty simple. I'm going to pause the video while this finishes downloading. The update has now completed, and it'll show you when the last update was done. I did this on Saturday afternoon, and it'll give you some other numbers here. You don't really need to pay much attention to them. If you did offer or tell it to do a scan right after it installed or updated, then it's going to just start scanning automatically. It started on mine while I had the video paused, but I just stopped it for now. Just want to go through each of these tabs pretty quickly here. Click on the Home tab and you'll see that your protection is on and virus and spyware definitions are up to date. If you want to do a scan anytime manually, you can do that. Just click Quick Scan, Full Scan, or Custom. You can choose to scan particular drives or whatever. Usually Quick Scan is fine, and click Scan Now, but you don't have to do that though. It's going to scan automatically, and I'll show you in just a second how to set that schedule. The update is here. If you want to update it manually, you can do that as well, but it is going to update on its own. The history screen is where it shows what it's found. If it's found any bad things in past scans, they'll be shown in a list here. Now in settings, there's just a couple of things that we want to check. You can see there's a whole list of things here, but there's only a few of them that we have to pay any attention to. The scheduled scan. Right now, if you don't do anything, if you don't change it, it's going to run Sunday at 2 a.m. The computer has to be turned on, though, in order for it to run at that time. If you don't leave your computer on overnight, you can set it for you can set it for any day of the week at any time, or you can have it run every day if you want. I'm going to have mine. I'm going to say Sunday at 10 a.m. because during that time the computer will be on, but I won't be using it. The scan type you can leave as quick scan. Start the scheduled scan only when my computer is on but not in use. You can check that or uncheck it. It's up to you. Now the next tab, or the next item in the list here, is default actions. Right now there are no default actions set. This is when it finds something, what do you want it to do? And you have to tell it what you want it to do. For severe, and these are just the way I set them. You can set them the way you wish, but this is just the way I do it. Recommended action for a severe alert, I'm going to say remove. If it's a high alert item, I'm going to say remove that too. If it's a medium alert, I'm just going to have it quarantine the item. And if it's a low level alert, I'm just going to say allow. But it'll still tell us by an alert what it found. And just leave this box checked here that says apply the recommended actions. Now, the next item is real-time protection. You just want to make sure these boxes are checked. Turn on real-time protection. That way it's running all the time and checking anything like downloaded files and any kind of activity like that. The next three excluded categories we can just skip because we're not going to exclude any file types or locations. We want it to scan everything. Under advanced, the one I would check here, it's going to check these for the first and last one. I also check create a system restore point. That way it does that just before cleaning your computer whenever it runs each day or however often you set the schedule, and that gives you a secure system restore point to go back to in case something goes wrong. The last item is Microsoft SpyNet. I'm not going to go through and explain what that is, but you can leave it set at basic membership and that'll be fine. So then once you're done with that, click Save Changes, and that's it. You're done. All these tabs are here, but you don't have to worry about them anymore. And actually, you can just click the X to close this, and Microsoft Security Essentials will always be running. You'll see it in the lower right in the system tray. It looks like a little green house with a flag on top of it. That's what the icon looks like. So that's it. The next step is to uninstall your antivirus program. And to do that, we're going to click to go to the control panel. Now I'm using Windows Vista, which may be different than yours, but somehow get to your control panel. If you're using Windows XP, when you go to the control panel, click the icon that says Add Remove Programs. In my case, I'm not using Windows XP, so for Windows Vista, there's the list of icons, and whenever it comes up, I'll show you. One of the icons is Programs and Features, and it's going to list all of the programs that I have available to uninstall. So here in this programs list, you can see one of the programs listed as AVG 2011, which I've already installed, but I'm going to click to select that and then uninstall. That's going to bring up a window that's going to take you through the uninstall process, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. There are just a couple of things that AVG will ask you during the uninstallation process. It'll ask you if you want to remove some of the files that it created. That's these two things right here. Remove user settings and include objects in the virus vault. You want to check both of those and click yes. And the rest of the process is pretty standard. I won't let you sit here and watch the whole thing go through. But when it's done, it's going to want to do a restart of your computer. So go ahead and restart the computer when it's finished. And after it's finished, it's going to come up to a screen, AVG's website, asking why you uninstalled it. And you can ignore that. You can answer the questions if you want, or you can just ignore it. Either way. So that's the whole process. Now you have Microsoft Security Essentials installed and AVG Antivirus uninstalled.